Inspiring Leaders series, wherein we spotlight the pros who have leveled up to their careers and taken up the impactful board roles. I'm Divya Momaya, founder of MentorMyBoard, and I'm super excited to host this session today with yet another inspiring guest, CS Ulka Kulkarni, who is from Nasik and who's dedicatedly taking efforts in bringing better corporate governance and better governance practices in two-tier cities like Nasik in Maharashtra. We are privileged to welcome you, Ulka, to this inspiring leaders, the journey from professionals to director roles. Welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you. It takes me immense pleasure to introduce Ulka to all of us. Ulka is accomplished company secretary, now a practicing company secretary, independent director, finance professional with over 3 decades of experience in corporate governance, financial management, and compliances. She's held pivotal roles, including company secretary for CG Lucy Switchgear Limited, which was a JV between the Crompton Greaves and Lucy UK. And she's also served in her last tenure as independent director on boards, contributing to the strategic insights and governance expertise. With a strong foundation in the corporate secretarial services, labor law compliances, strategic advisory, she combines the technical knowledge with business acumen. Beyond her professional achievements, she is a yoga therapist, sitar player, artist, embodying a holistic approach to life and leadership. And I must not miss that she was a national level player in swimming. So make sure before we move on, to our discussion, Ulka, make sure everyone here who's listening to us, who will be listening to us, subscribes to our Mentor My Board LinkedIn, Facebook, and YouTube page. And we are on Instagram and Twitter too. uh, and to get the important updates like this, and so that you don't miss out, don't slip on the chance to get the insider tips and the real talks from the top leaders of corporate governance. And also, don't forget to log in and sign in to mentormyboard.com, which is a platform of Mentor My Board for governance growth and exclusive network of thought leaders. We have more than 3,000 thought leaders logged into the system today. More than almost 280 odd members are there on Mentor My Board platform, and dedicatedly Mentor My Board is ensuring that we are bringing best governance practices for corporate India to grow with good governance. Now, Ulka, welcome to this Inspiring Leaders series, and thank you for sparing your valuable time with us. And we are really happy to start this conversation with you. Are you ready?
Yes, very much. Thank you,
Super.
Divya, for your kind words. And you have a gift of putting things positively and making feel people great. With your words, I'm really feeling great.
Thank you.
Thank you
Thank you
so
so
much.
much. Thank you. So let's start, Ulka. 3 decades of a corporate career. It's not a small, thing. I know how dedicated efforts it takes for a person to be consistent, persistent in, the professional journey. So, how did you, kind of uh, start your professional journey, your milestones that led to the board leadership roles? Can you take us through your small journey? I mean, your illustrious journey in a very short, kind of manner.
Okay, let me tell you first thing that I was never very career oriented or very ambitious. But
Mm-hmm.
I have always been a destiny's child. Destiny has taken me where I am today. There was hardly any effort on my part.
Mm-hmm.
So, shall I start from when I was in 10th standard?
Please do that. Yeah.
When I finished my 10th standard, I have a cousin. She had done home science and she used to bake beautiful cakes, make delicious dishes, and crochet and knitting. And also, I have always wanted to follow her into home science. But my dad was against it. He said, there is no college in Nasik for home science, so you're not doing home science, you have to be in Nasik. I was not bright enough to go in for science and I had no inclination towards arts. So by default, I started commerce. In commerce, I opted for geography instead of accounts. And
Oh.
then the first day the teacher came in, she said, those who are not opted for accounts, get out of the class. I didn't have the courage to get out of the class. So I just got stuck with accounts right from that day to this day. So that is, I would say, destiny played a part. Then after graduation, the norm at my time was that graduation ho kya shadi karna hai. All my cousins had done that. So I had resigned to the fate. कि, हाँ अभी शादी करना है. But then again, destiny stepped in. My friend, she said she wants to do LLB and I should accompany her to take admission. So we
Mm-hmm.
went to the law college. At law college, we met a senior. He asked me, why are you not doing? Why are you not taking admission? अभी उसको क्या बोलने का, इसलिए I told him कि मेरे पास पैसा नहीं है, so मैं नहीं कर रही हूँ. So he
Oh.
said, चलो मैं तुमको free ship दिला देता हूँ. And I got free ship. I was already working in Bombay and I took admission in Nasik for law. I came only for appearing for exams और वो हो गया. So again I became LLB, not out of plan. It was just destiny. I was already working. I had shifted from Bombay to Nasik for work. I had a boss who was just maybe 7, 8 years older than me, and he was doing CS. He said, "तुम ऐसे बैठी रही हो, you also do with me."
Hmm.
You know, he used to make me write those papers. That time we had to write papers. I was writing papers with him. His wife used to give me khana and all, you know. तो मेरे को choice नहीं था, मुझे करना ही था. So that's how I finished my intermediate level. That time it was intermediate. And then I started working Crompton. Crompton में एक जुनून चढ़ गया था कि मुझे I have to do well. I was working for almost 18 hours a day, hard work, dedicated work. I was also looking after my household responsibilities. And 10, 15 years, I couldn't appear for the exams.
Oh.
Yeah, so there was a big gap. I finished intermediate in 89.
Mm-hmm.
And then till 2004, I didn't do anything. Then one day, when we were having our reviews, I didn't get any increment or promotion. So I asked my boss, why? Why are you not giving me when I'm
Hmm.
doing such a fine job? So he tells me, you're not professionally qualified. So that was a negative motivation for me. So then I said, no, now I'm only one step away. I have to finish my CS. So
Hmm.
at the age of 42, I got the membership.
Wow.
At 42, I finished my CS. I became a CS at the age of 42. And my company, Crompton Greaves, was good enough to give me the secretaryship of CG Lucy, a joint
Hmm.
venture.
Hmm. Hmm.
So
Hmm.
that's how I became a CS. Again, it was
Wow.
destiny that stepped in. It was not
I
my
will tell
plan.
you. In fact, I will stop you here, Ulka. What you said, has such a wonderful message. And I am from a very small town in Nasik district in Malegaon. And I completely agree with you when you say that, being from a smaller towns has its advantages and disadvantages. Destiny plays an important role. But what I can understand from your journey is the choices you made. See, you had someone saying that, oh, you do this or you don't do this. But the choice of taking decision, standing to what you wanted to do and what you can do was always with you. So, it's always the milestones what we create is the choices we make. So the choices what you made has made you what you are today. And I'll tell you, at the age of 42, getting a qualification or a degree is not easy. I mean, I've seen so many women going into and engineers, advocates, chartered accountants, company secretaries, getting married and not doing anything. So I completely understand what you're saying. And at that age, when you said that, yes, I want to take that, and taking a negative motivation, a negative event in life to motivate you to do something good is super, absolutely wonderful.
Thank you, Divya, but it is not all my credit. There were wonderful people, very good people who helped me in my journey. It's not all my
100%,
doing.
100%. It always happens like that. I mean,
Yeah,
we
and
have people surrounded.
basically, as a
Hmm,
child, my
yeah.
mother always told me, whatever you do, whether in personal life or professional life, you have to give your best. You have to be the best.
Hmm,
For my father, being second was not good enough. And he always wanted to be excellent first. So
Hmm.
that pursuit of excellence, like our institute also has the same motto, pursuit of excellence.
Correct.
That is probably what motivated me,
Super.
like coming to this stage.
Super. I think
So
wonderful journey, Ulka. Wonderful.
yeah,
So
and
this
then
brings. Hmm.
after I qualified, I worked with Crompton's for
Hmm.
2-3 years as a company secretary,
Hmm.
and then there was some crisis in my life. So 4-5 years I was at home, not doing anything, and I had crossed 50 when I started practice.
Wow.
Yeah, I didn't. I was again forced into practice. I didn't want to do anything, but then my friend said that I need a CS and I want you to do it. So again, destiny played a hand. There was some wonderful person who told me you do it. So that is how I started came into practice.
Hmm.
And then about directorship was the next logical step. There were again good people who recommended, who thought that I could contribute. So they recommended me to people, and here I am,
Wow.
independent director.
Super, super. So, in fact, when you said you didn't have any plan of coming into practice, and somebody said that, can you do it for us? I think, when I look at my journey, when I moved out and, of my corporate career after my two daughters, and someone, who was known to me said that, can you handle these three companies for us? So, you always need someone to push you there, but the choice is always with you. So, thank you for highlighting this very important point. Now, come to the next question, Ulka. How did you transition from the finance secretarial to becoming independent director? Governance has been at the core, but what were some trigger points which moved you from finance secretarial and now taking up the independent director role? And what was, like, the business expertise, your business acumen, which is required? So how did it help you to be effective?
Okay. So what you're basically asking me what was fascinating me. So
Yes,
I'm not
yes.
a chartered accountant, but
Yeah.
it figures fascinated me. They're
Hmm.
magic. I always found magic in the figures.
Hmm.
I was a finance manager in Crompton Greaves, so I had
Oh.
to deal with lot of figures. I was looking
Hmm.
after MIS. I was looking after the bills payable section. So all the what should I say, the crux of accounts department, those sections were with me. So probably because I found magic, I was enamored by accounts and balance sheets and profit and loss. So even if I'm not a chartered accountant, I could read the balance sheets. So
Super.
probably that is what is helping me in my present profession.
Super.
Also, where compliance is concerned, I feel compliance is a very simple thing. If you want to do it, if you want to do it and you don't have that attitude of ho jayega kar lenge dekh lenge, then compliance is very easy. So
Hmm.
let me tell you here that I'm inspired by you. You have this mission of having 1 lakh directors, training 1 lakh directors.
Yeah.
I have taken a mission saying that I will create awareness, compliance awareness in this 1.5 year for at least 100 companies. Of course,
Wow.
though it's a very small task, but still I wanted to tell you that I have been inspired by you and I have taken that task. So,
That's amazing. Thank you.
so this is something which uh, is very. That is what interests me, and that is what keeps me going. Then
Super.
second thing is that I had worked for a manufacturing company. Most of my clients are
Hmm.
hospitals in the healthcare industry.
Oh.
Then I also have service oriented people. So
Hmm.
this has broadened my vision. Till I was in Crompton, I was only looking at manufacturing, but then so many things came in front of me, and it was, very amazing. Okay, how there can be such different things, so many things to learn. I never stopped learning.
Super.
Things came in front of me. I never said कि नहीं ये मुझे नहीं करना है, मुझे नहीं आता है. I was
Super.
just not able. For me, that curiosity was very important. Whether it is Like recently there was a Section 8 company saying that we want to close down. So
Hmm.
my first reaction was, Section 8 company कोई बंद नहीं करता है. But
Hmm.
then they insisted कि नहीं हमको करना ही है. Then I started learning, how, if they want to do, how can it be done. So
Correct.
this new things which come every day interest me,
Hmm.
and that keeps me going.
Super.
And
Super.
third thing is that I started from ground level. When I started working, I started with Reserve Bank of India actually.
Hmm.
There I was a
Oh.
coin note examiner.
Hmm.
क्या करना है उधर? You just have to count the notes. 1 to 100, 1 to 100, 1 to 100. You
Oh.
keep doing. So I started from there. So I know how it goes, at every level, what people are thinking, how they are working, what goes on in their mind, what went on in my mind, and what did I do to grow up,
Hmm.
you know. So probably that is keeping me going, and I
Amazing.
don't know whether I'm really effective and impactful as a board member, but I try to give my best. I try to do my best.
Superb, superb. Actually, we all, I think, whenever we look at the board positions or we look at the professionals, it's always that, everyone will definitely try to do their best. And the efforts what every one of us is taking, I mean, when we look at the journey of corporate governance, when we look at the journey of boardrooms in India, it's always that people like the professionals who are guiding boards, they have played a very pivotal role. And the way India is emerging today as a brightest spot in the world is just because the corporates who are improving on their governance, and that's where a lot of market capitalization also is getting attracted. So I'll tell you, every small addition by all of us is making that ocean, which is the attraction for the world. So I think wonderful journey, keep doing what you're doing, keep impacting the businesses, the companies, the founders, and yes, you rightly said, mindset of promoters and founders towards compliance, towards governance, because a lot of times people misunderstand governance with only compliance, whereas governance is much beyond the compliance. So you
Of
rightly
course, of
said.
course.
Absolutely. Now, my next question comes to you is about Mentor My Board. So, Mentor My Board is making strides in the boardroom excellence. We are on that mission, as you said. How do you view, its role in cultivating the empowered and effective boards and its impact on corporate governance?
Okay,
Your
let
thoughts on
me
that?
let me go back to when we met first time.
Okay.
That time Mentor My Board was just in the infancy stage, and
Yes.
you were painting that picture. Your vision. We were at Jaipur together for the conference. 2 days we were together, and you were full of Mentor My Board and talking so much about it and painting your vision in front of me. The canvas was so big, so big. It was simply beyond my grasp. I couldn't understand what you were talking, and how can
Oh,
this happen? I had all my reservations, my doubts, my queries, so many things. But today, when I see where you have reached and what you have done, it's simply amazing for me. It is
thank you.
simply amazing. And let me tell you here that you are my idol. I want.
Oh my
I
God.
always wanted to be like you, dynamic. Being the good leader, taking people along with you, and it's more about thinking about others. Like I said in the beginning, that you're so good. You have that art of being very positive and making people feel great. So you're taking everyone along with you. Yes, you're doing a wonderful job about training the directors, and I'm sure you will be successful because you have that in you. And as
Thank you.
far this is about Divya. Now, as far as Mentor My Board is concerned, if with Divya at the helm, Mentor My Board is going to be very, very successful, and it's doing a wonderful job training the directors, which I think is very important. Because today, what is happening, especially in areas like Nasik, tier 2, tier 3 cities, and all, there the companies which are there, those should have actually been proprietorships or partnerships, but they are private limited companies. So these are the people who need to be trained, to be told what is a director, what are his duties, his liabilities, his responsibilities, how he should be conducting himself, how he should be reacting, how he should be taking. I'm not only talking about independent directors, I'm talking
Yeah.
about directors in general.
Yeah.
How he should take his people, the board, the employees, the managers, and everything together. It is something very wonderful that you're doing.
Thank
And
you.
this is how you're training them. Because they are very, what I would say, they are very raw. As directors, they are very raw, and
Yeah.
you're shaping them. हीरे के जैसे तराश रही हो तुम. So that is
Thank you.
what you're doing, and that is, I appreciate Mentor My Board, and all my best wishes.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Ulka, for this. In fact, I'll connect some dots here. Uh, we recently have, been partnering with Bombay Stock Exchange to spread the awareness on good corporate governance, especially when smaller businesses are going for IPO. And in that mission, we have been doing roadshows in, multiple cities. Initial target is to reach out to 15 cities. Definitely, Nasik is one of them. And the reason of this collaboration with Bombay Stock Exchange is that in India, we have say close to around 7 crore or odd businesses, whereas only 500 probably of them are listed on BSE. That gives a huge opportunity for a lot of businesses to come and explore market capitalization. And I think in that mission we would surely be working with you at NASIC. So thank you for highlighting this important point. And yes, smaller cities today are emerging as the best players, as far as the business growth is concerned. So I'm sure with all these efforts what we all are taking, I mean, as I again I said earlier, that every effort by all of us is that drop in the ocean, which is going to make that ocean full of what it has to have. Now, coming to the next question about your hobbies and personal influence. I have seen your paintings. I know you are a practicing yoga teacher. You play sitar, uh, and the national level swimming, champion. So what made all these things possible, and how do you see those hobbies giving you a focused leadership approach and help you in decision making?
Okay. Whether it is my hobbies, like for me, swimming is a passion, it's not a hobby.
Oh.
Yoga is also a passion, not a hobby.
Hmm.
And my work is also a passion. So it's so many passions, It was very important that I follow certain type of discipline.
Hmm.
Discipline and hard work. There's no alternative. So I had to give time for everything. But it sometimes happened. Let me talk about work life balance since I'm talking about this. Let me also
Yeah.
talk about work life balance.
Yeah.
There were times when, I had to choose between profession and my personal life. You
Hmm.
know, personal life, basically, I mean my hobbies. Okay, so when I had to choose, sometimes my creative side was suppressed. I couldn't give time for my creative side. Then I had to, again manage, go into balance the professional side, balance the personal side. There were times when I had to make choices. I
Hmm.
made choices. I don't know whether those were right or wrong. I have gone through it. I have come out of it now. Now, with practice, practice has helped me to give me that, it has given me that flexibility where I'm able to give time to everything. Maybe
Super.
not 100%. I have kept certain things for next birth. Like I would have loved to give performances in sitar,
Oh.
sitar performances. But I really don't have the time for that practice, it needs a lot of practice. So I
Yeah.
have kept it for the next birth. I will do it in the next birth. So,
Oh my God.
yeah, so that is how I'm trying to balance. And what hobbies have given me is it has given me a creative bent of mind. I'm able to think
Hmm.
out of the box. This
So
is
true.
not to appreciate myself, but then I have realized that sometimes when what I think, I'm not able to reach to people.
Hmm.
It is so different. Like for me, your canvas was very big. I couldn't understand what you're talking. Like that, sometimes it happens with me that when I'm expressing something, I'm not able to reach to people.
Hmm.
It's not that probably it is my failure that I'm not able to reach and express my ideas, but that is what happens when I think out of the box. Then it has
Yes.
allowed me to understand that for me individual excellence is necessary along with the excellence of the team.
Hmm.
My sport, swimming, is essentially an individual sport, but it is also a team sport where
Team
I'm
sport.
representing the, say, my university or my district or my state, whatever. It still becomes a teamwork. So I
Super.
cannot look only at my excellence. I also
Hmm.
have to see that my team excels.
Correct.
So this becomes useful to me when in my profession also, whatever I have learned from my sport or hobbies or whatever.
Super. Amazing. That's really wonderful to know. And I think, I also would like to give a message to a lot of, men, women both, who come from smaller towns, smaller cities, who, kind of feel, that they probably may not have a right, opportunities. But I think what choices you make will define, the opportunities for you. And I think, the way you explained your journey, Ulka, it really gives an motivation and inspiration for a lot of, those small town, people to come and emerge as wonderful leaders. Now, as we come to, very close to our conversation, end of the conversation, I would like two questions, for you, to answer. What message you would like to convey to the young professionals who aspire for board leadership and make a mark in corporate governance? And how do you envision the future of corporate governance evolving? So, over to you, Ulka, for your valuable message.
Yeah, main thing I would love to tell the youngsters is there is no shortcut. No
Hmm.
shortcut to hard work and discipline. There is nothing, no alternative. It is uncompromising situation where discipline and hard work is concerned.
Correct.
Hard work can overcome talent, but talent without hard work is zero.
Hmm.
Okay, and like our institute says, pursuit of excellence.
Yeah.
Always pursue excellence. Instead of money will follow. If you pursue excellence, money is going to follow. So
100%.
let your aim be to pursue excellence. So that is what I would love to tell the youngsters, and I hope they agree because now everything they want so fast. So
True.
I
True.
hope.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And how do you envision the future of corporate governance evolving today in India? What are your thoughts on that?
Divya, can you repeat the question little loudly?
Yeah, I said, how do you envision the future of corporate governance evolving in India today?
How do you?
How do you envision, or what is your vision of corporate governance, the way it is
Okay,
evolving
okay,
today in
okay.
India?
Understood. Okay, now I am a yoga teacher, a yoga therapist. So for me, governance is nothing different than daily life. Like we are, all of us are doing governance. We are governing our life.
Hmm.
And yoga has told, Ashtanga yoga especially has first two limbs which say yam and niyam. Yam
Okay.
is about social guidelines, how you should behave in the society, what should be your attitude when you are part of the society. And
Hmm.
Niyam is about self discipline. And this is nothing different than governance. Like when
Absolutely.
it is yam about social responsibilities, like you have to be honest, you have to be truthful, you have to be non-violent. I'm not see, if I start with yoga I can go on for another 3 hours. So let me put it in short that these are the things which the yoga is talking about our daily life, but
Hmm.
this is also applicable for governance.
Hmm.
What about niyam? Niyam is self-discipline. That
Hmm.
is, you have to maintain cleanliness, you have to be content. There are 5 to 8 things which we have to follow. But
Correct.
Pratipika has different and more niyam, and Ashtanga Yoga has less. But in all, said and done. It is basically about governing your own life. So why should it be different for a company?
Hmm.
For a company also, it should be same. You
Super.
have to follow the yam and niyam in the company also.
Hmm.
So that is
Amazing.
my take on governance. Maybe it is
Super.
different, but that is my take.
No, but it is so true. I mean, when you say yum, I mean, the rules, the societal rules, and that is something again how the corporate social responsibility, the CSR, the ESG today, everyone is talking about, the sustainable business. And even
Yes,
in yoga, we are saying that it's not immediate; it's sustainable, health.
it
And
has
the
been there
same
for
way, we're
5,000
talking of
years.
sustainable health even for the corporates is again having a imbibing better corporate governance into the system. So nicely articulated. Thank you so much for these lovely insights. And it was really wonderful to have conversation with you, and I could resonate so much what you are saying and what you're doing. Maybe because we belong from the same kind of place in Maharashtra, but more so amazing journey. And we are really happy to have you today with us. Thank you for sparing your valuable Sunday morning with us. And I'm sure the learnings from your life will inspire and motivate lot of people, lot of professionals to move beyond their comfort zones. And working, when you said 14 hours or 18 hours a day, that's a choice what you made. And today we're talking very differently, and lot of different things coming up on the social media about working hours. But I'll tell you, as you said, there is no substitute to hard work. And if you have to kind of make sure that you are succeeding, the time effort what you're putting, it doesn't count. So amazing conversations with you, Ulka. Thank you so much. And for the audience here today, we will be coming up next Sunday with yet another inspiring leader to share their story with us, the learnings from their life. And, today, this is the last podcast of 2024. Next week, we will be meeting in 2025. And Happy New Year to everyone here listening and who will keep listening. A very, very happy and prosperous New Year. Let India shine in years ahead. And I'm sure with all the efforts of Mentor My Board, we will ensure that we are there to create that strong support and that ecosystem for directors, for professionals, for independent directors, for promoters and founders to succeed in their career, their growth journey, their businesses. So stay tuned for yet another inspiring story next Sunday. Thank you, and signing off, Divya Momaya. Thank you, Ulka, for being here with us. Thank you.
Thank you, Divya, for giving me this opportunity. Thank you